Hello, today I'm going to do a video to show you how to regulate an automatic watch. Now, automatic watches are not as accurate as quartz watches. However, they can, they can be regulated to be quite accurate. Now, you can have a watchmaker regulate your watch, or you can do it yourself. And I'm going to show you how to do this. Now, I'm not a jeweler. I'm not a watch expert or anything like that. I just saw how to do this on the internet and by watching other people's videos, and that's how I was able to do it. So I'm going to tell you how to do it now. First thing you need to do is to get stuff that you're going to need. Besides your watch, you're going to need a watch case opener. Now, this is a watch case opener right here. Cost me about $10 on Amazon. There are more expensive, more elaborate openers. If you want to get one of those, you can, but this $10 one, this one worked for me. What you need to do, though, is you have to look at your watch and you have to see what type of opener it needs. Now, mine just has these grooves in like this, so I just needed an opener that would fit into those grooves. If you have, like, say, an Omega or a Panerai or something with a different type of back on it, you're going to need to look for an opener for that particular style of watch. But I think most watches have these grooves like this. Okay, now other things you're going to need is you're going to need something to adjust the regulator bar on the watch. What I use is a matchstick or a pin. And depending upon which side the regulator I was pushing on, these are the two things that I used. Now, you want these to be clean. You don't want any crap or gunk or dust or dirt on these things because you don't want to get any of this crap in your watch. Now, the first basic step is you want to take if you have a NATO strap or a leather strap, you don't have to worry so much. But if you have a metal band like this, I would take it apart. And what you need to do is, there's little holes in the side of the clasp right here. You take a pin and there's a push pin in there. You just push that pin out of there and then just pop it apart. Take your band apart so you can get at the watch. Now, I don't have the back off of this watch, but I'm going to tell you how to take the back off. What you do is you take your watch tool and you fit it in these grooves right here, and then you tighten it up as tight as you can get it, and then you hold the watch with one hand and the tool with the other, and then you turn and you get this back open on the watch. Now, excuse me, I got to get the watch positioned here. Now, when you get your watch opened up, you're going to see one of two type of regulators. You're either going to see a bar like this, the bar that's in the middle of the screen with the two gold dots on, that's your regulating bar. This other bar, you're not going to want to touch that, because if you touch that, that'll fuck up your watch, so stay away from that. Now, the rotor's in the way here, but there's a scale and it says plus and minus. See if we can see it here. All right. Now, if you look closely, you can see a scale and it says plus. It's going out of focus, sorry. It says plus and minus. And if your watch is running fast, you're going to want to bump that lever counterclockwise to slow it down. And if it's running slow, you're going to want to bump that lever clockwise a little bit. Now, this is a very sensitive adjustment, and you don't have to move it very much to get some results out of it. So let's say your watch is fast by 10 seconds. You just want to barely move that regulator arm a little bit counterclockwise toward that, so that the whole thing turns toward that minus mark. And then you'll want to check after you do your adjustment, you're going to want to check your accuracy. Now, what I use is a Kello app for my iPhone, and I have a video on this Kello app and how this works if you want to watch my Kello video. Another way you can do it is you can time it against an atomic clock. You can set it with an atomic clock, and then say 24 hours later you can check it and you can see how many seconds you've gained or lost. or you can also time it against a quartz watch. You can start a stopwatch and you can time it and see what happens that way. Now this involves a lot of trial and error. I'm thinking it took 3 or 4 hours before I got this watch regulated to where I was satisfied with it. And I believe I've got it running now. It's about 2 to 3 seconds fast per day, which for me is probably about as good as you're going to get it. I probably don't have any more patience to get it any closer than that. You got to have patience doing this. It's a trial and error process because you're going to overshoot. You're going to bump it a little bit and it's going to be too fast, and then you're going to bump it the other way. It's going to be too slow. You got to keep at it. Don't get frustrated. Just keep at it, and eventually I think you'll get it. Now, this watch is a Miyota 8215 movement, and it has the little bar like that with the little dots on. Now, if you have an AIDA movement or a Sellita movement, instead of a bar, you're going to have a little screw that you turn, and it's going to say plus and minus. You turn it one way is plus for faster, one way minus for slower. Same thing applies. You only turn it a little bit each time and then check it and see what you're getting. And also be careful. Don't do this in a clean environment. Don't get any dirt or dust or crap inside your watch. You want to avoid doing that. Now, I can't show you the gasket here because I don't have the back off, but when you take your back off, before you attempt to regulate it, check out the gasket. Make sure the gasket isn't torn or deformed in any way. Make sure the gasket looks good, because when you seal the watch back up again, you're going to want to seal it up so that it has some water resistance. If you open your watch and close it again, I don't recommend that you take your watch swimming or diving, because it may not have the water resistance that it had when it was new from the factory. You can take it to a watchmaker and have it pressure tested, and that way you would know for sure if it would be safe to use on the water. But to be on the safe side, I would not take it in water. I very rarely get my watches wet, so this isn't a concern for me. After you do your adjustment and if you check it with say a Kello app, and you finally get it to where you want it, make sure the gasket is seated properly and put the back on. Hand tighten it with your fingers first, and then take your watch tool and tighten it back up again. Get it as tight as you can, because you want to keep water and dust and dirt out of it. Again, I'm not a watchmaker or a jeweler, and you do this at your own risk. I'm not responsible if you fuck up your watch, so just bear that in mind. I hope this has helped you learn how to regulate your watch by yourself. And if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to ask them. Comment, rate, and subscribe. And thanks everybody for watching my videos.